at the, what do they call this? The Kid Gore shelter. I just decided to stop here and get some food in me and get my shoes off and rest my ankles for a little bit, because I don't know, they're just not getting any better. I feel like they're getting worse, which has got me a little bit concerned for the longevity of this trip right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do if my feet just keep getting worse, because it's really painful. Especially when I'm descending, which is supposed to be the time where I'm like, my body's taking a break almost, like, is when you're descending. But the issue is that the impact on my already sore and tired ankles, borderline injured ankles, is just not feeling too great when I'm going downhill. Luckily I have 2 poles, so I'm trying to absorb as much of it with my poles, and I'm taking it as slow as possible today. This is probably the slowest that I've gone on trail since day 1, and I'm consciously doing that because I have plenty of energy in my legs, and my shoulders are feeling good, my neck's feeling good. It's simply my feet. That's it. But you know, you can see right here, I'm at one of the shelters, and it's got a really nice view. If I didn't have such a big day tomorrow already, I would probably just stay here today with how I'm feeling, to be perfectly honest. But it's only going to make tomorrow longer, and I have to hit certain checkpoints to make it to Manchester Center in time with the amount of food that I have, so I don't really have much of a choice, unfortunately. I'm glad I left when I did, though. I got plenty of time to do the last 4.6 miles. I mean, I have something like 6 hours to do the last 4.6 miles, and there's no way it's going to take me that long. So I'm just going to take my sweet time. If I find some sort of body of water that looks clean between here and there, I might stop and soak my ankles in it. But I don't think there is one, besides a beaver dam, and I'm not trying to stop at that because I'll be really close to the shelter at that point. So it is what it is. I'm trying to keep positive and do what I can. Just having my shoes off, and I took the compression sleeves off, are making my ankles feel a lot better. I already took some ibuprofen today to reduce the inflammation. I'm probably going to take some extra strength Tylenol to try to dull the pain for the next 4.5 miles, and just do what I can do and control what I can control. It's like I'm going for good for a little while, and then I slip on something or turn on something or slide on something, and I'm right back to square one. So I've dealt with this before in the past in football. It sucks, but try to keep positive, and I'm going to keep tanking on. I'll catch you guys probably at the shelter tonight. I think there's a viewpoint between here and there, so if the view's good, I'll catch you there. Tank out. So I've just been tanking along today, trying to push through the pain. My feet, when the extra strength Tylenol kicked in, it definitely helped. I got cruising there for a little while, so I was able to make up some time because I was going really slow today, which is fine. I'm not out here, it's not a race out here. But real quick before my GoPro battery dies, because I'm not gonna be able to switch it out until I get to camp, this is clearly a beaver pond. Look at this dam. Look at the size of this dam. Some of the comments on the far out said that they saw a lot of beaver activity here, and one of the funniest ones was the beavers have definitely been beavering out here. I thought that was pretty funny, but I know what they mean now. I've never seen a dam that big. Look at that, and the water's all the way up to the brim of it. And it's like barely leaking, like barely. Like talk about craftsmanship, you know? And that's the only thing that I've really seen. Like, I had a lookout back there a little while ago, a view they called it, but it was so overgrown it wasn't worth showing you guys. I just sat there and ate a little bit of what did I have? I had a couple of Kind bars is what I ended up having up there, and some peanut butter crackers, which were good. But I am looking forward to getting to camp and stuffing myself with all kinds of stuff from my food bag. I'm hungry today. I'm really hungry today. So I'll I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Good morning from the Story Spring Shelter here, which is named after a spring that I had a really hard time finding last night because the comments on the Far Out app were a little bit off. According to the Far Out, the spring was directly behind the shelter. So I walked behind the shelter that's right here, and I walked up the hill, couldn't find the spring, was walking in circles. I checked up by the privy, I checked everywhere. Usually when you get to these shelters, there's a map of everything. It shows you where the privy is, the tent sites, the water source, and stuff like that. This is the first one that didn't have that. So I spent the better part of a half an hour looking for a spring. It turns out is down the AT further, right across those bog bridges. There's a nice flowing spring right there. So it wasn't exactly right behind the shelter like they were saying. So if you're headed northbound, you got to go past the shelter to get to the spring. If you're headed southbound, you're going to cross over it, and it's going to be pretty obvious to you. So, lesson learned. I ended up getting here early last night, got my shoes off, relaxed my ankles / feet the best that I could. It was a painful day yesterday, and I'm going to be honest, my right foot in particular right now, without even having any weight on me right now, is not feeling very good at all. And I have a huge day today. I have 10.4 miles to do to my planned shelter on Stratton Pond, and I have to go up over Stratton Mountain today, which is only 60 feet short of being my first 4,000 foot peak. So I have my work cut out for me. That being said, I'm already at a decent elevation, so I think that my elevation gain today will be short of 3,000 feet, but I also have to do close to 3,000 feet of descending, which just standing here without any weight on my back does not sound too great for, in particular, my right foot. I took some ibuprofen, got some food in me. We'll have to just see how it goes. It's just getting worse, unfortunately. Like, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but my right foot in particular is just getting worse. And I think the only thing that's going to help it is resting it, and I just don't have an opportunity to do it for that long out here. So it is what it is. I'm going to push through it the best I can today. Yesterday was one of the slowest days I've had on trail since day one. The last couple miles I was able to bang out after the extra strength Tylenol kicked in, but not ideal by any way, shape, or form. But it is what it is. Like I said, I'm going to roll with the punches. I'm going to tank on, and I'll see you guys somewhere between here and Stratton Mountain. Well, I'm at this river crossing right here. It's got this really nice bridge and everything, and I'm extremely thankful for it for a couple of reasons. Obviously, I refilled my water here. That's number one. It's nice clean water. But the biggie is that I stopped and I sat right down there on that big rock right there, and I put my feet in the water for a good couple of minutes. And I'm gonna be honest, that is the coldest water that I've ever put my feet in before in my entire life, bar none. I just threw my Crocs on and just sat there, and I was submerging them for 30-second increments because it got really, really painful. But it seemed to bring the swelling down on both my ankles. And this was at the advice of my dad, so thanks, Dad. I probably wouldn't have thought to stop and soak my ankles here. And it cost me a good half hour, but I'm gonna be honest, like, my ankles are feeling a lot more loose now. I took some Tylenol a little while back there. I'm gonna get a little snack in me, and then I'm gonna start making my push towards Stratton Mountain. Catch you guys there. So I'm here. I just crossed over, I guess, what is considered the Delaware River, and I'm about to start making my climb up Stratton Mountain. I'm feeling so much better. My right foot still doesn't feel great, but I feel like because the swelling went down, I'm just not in constant pain, which is amazing to me right now. and I've just been kind of cruising the last couple of miles, trying to take advantage of it. But check this out. Nothing too crazy. It's about the same size. That might have been the same thing that I was soaking in earlier, for all I know. But looks like there's some people out here day hiking. So first time I'll see somebody in about 24 hours. But I got a pretty hefty climb ahead of me. It's about 3.5 miles to the top. And what am I at? I'm at 2,200 feet, and I'm gonna be at 3,900 feet. So you do the math. Catch you guys soon. Well, I made it to the top of Stratton Mountain, and I'll tell you what, that wasn't easy. That climb kicked my butt in places. I ended up stopping a couple of times. I stopped and I got a little bit of food in me. I wanted to wait until I got up here, but I just couldn't. I was running out of energy. So I stopped on a rock and just got some food in me. And then I met a really nice couple that were just doing a day hike out there, but the gentleman named Robert is working on completing the 115 peaks in the winter, and he's only got a couple left, so I thought that was pretty impressive. I talked with him and what I assume was his wife for a while, and they're both avid hikers slash mountaineers, so that's awesome. And I'm here now, so I want to ascend this tower safely, and I'll catch you guys up at the top. All right, here we are. Technically, because this mountain is 3,940 feet, I'm in a tower now that's more than 60 feet, so I am over 4,000 feet for the first time on my hike. But I'm glad that this one has windows, because it is mighty windy up here. That was kind of sketchy walking up, to be honest. Check this out. The windows are kind of dirty, but that over there, you can see, that's Somerset Reservoir right there. Have a 360-degree view of everything here. Look at this. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Wow. Incredible. Absolutely amazing. Let me check my watch carefully without shaking the yeah, so this would be north. So I suppose that would be the next mountain that I'm going over. That would be Bromley. And then back there was Glastonbury. If I oriented myself correctly. Wow, this is incredible up here. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the view. That was hard work getting up here. I gotta descend off of this mountain, and I'm staying at Stratton Pond today. So about another 3 miles I got of all descending to the pond, and I'll catch you guys there. Good morning everybody from where am I? The Stratton Pond shelter slash campsite. I ended up taking a tent pad last night as usual. There's a nice group of Ukrainian guys that are in the shelter I knew they were going to be kind of loud last night, so I wasn't trying to take the shelter, and I prefer my tent anyways. So yeah, I got a bit of bad news, and I'm trying to keep positive about the whole thing, but I'm kind of having a hard time with all this, and I wanted to catch this on camera because it's important. Last time you guys talked to me, I was up on Stratton Mountain, and you've been listening to me for the last few days complain about my feet, my ankles. During that descent, I had about 3,000 feet of descending to do over the course of 3 miles to get to this campsite last night. I had a horrible time, absolutely horrible time. After I got over the climb and I started coming down, I had a quite obvious adrenaline dump, which I'm familiar with from when I used to compete in jiu-jitsu. It was an obvious adrenaline dump, and as soon as that happened, like, you know, your body does not feel good to begin with. And something about that happening, as soon as that happened, the pain in both of my feet, in particular my right one, the outer part of my feet, where my ankle is, it just became excruciating, like absolutely excruciating. The last 2 miles that I did yesterday to camp was the most painful experience that I've ever had in my life. I was going as slow as humanly possible. But the leaf coverage, I've been complaining about this for a couple weeks now. The leaf coverage on the mountain, because of the time of the year, because it's fall, once I got down off the rocky sections and it became ankle deep leaves again, like, there's only so much you can do to pick and choose quote unquote flat ground to put your feet on. And it's unrealistic for me to expect the ground to be flat coming down a mountain, you know. With every step that I took on uneven surface, my foot was just rolling to the outside. I had no support in my ankles whatsoever, and every single time that happened, it would just give me the most, like, intense pain up my leg, like, to the point where it was making me physically feel sick. Like, between the adrenaline dump and the amount of pain that I was in, I was physically feeling sick. I had to stop at one point and just take my shoes off and socks off and just massage my feet because they were just swelling so bad, because I probably turned them over, each one, a couple dozen times, because there's no support in the outside of them anymore. And I think soaking it in the river earlier today, like, tightened up the muscles a little bit and allowed me to do that climb, and then the Tylenol dulled the pain, but really I was just doing more damage to those supporting muscles, to the point where when I was descending, I had no base. It's like, normally you want to absorb part of it with your ankle and then majority of it with your knees and your core, and then use your trekking poles to absorb a lot of it with your upper body. And I was doing all those things correctly, but the issue is that I didn't have a strong base. So, like, if you step and your ankle goes to roll over, you can't absorb any of that impact with your knee. It just all the whole force of all the weight from my backpack and me is just going on to the outer part of my foot, and I'm trying to catch myself with my trekking pole, but like I said, it's almost impossible when you're taking, you know, 30,000 steps a day. It's like I rolled my ankles over a couple dozen times each, like, coming down that mountain. And to make this long story a little bit shorter, I woke up in the middle of the night, just covered in sweat from head to toe. I don't know if that's a result of just you know, my body trying to compensate for the pain that my feet is in or whatever, or if I'm like if I'm so lucky that I'm getting sick on top of all of this. But I did not have a good night last night. My energy levels are super low. Both my feet are swollen and throbbing right now, and I haven't even stood up yet. And I need to hike at least 5 miles today to get to within a reasonable distance of where I'm going to get picked up to go into Manchester Center on Sunday. And I'm really not looking forward to putting this pack on today and having to do those 5 miles. Like, really not looking forward to it. So I really didn't want to have to record this video. I'm at a loss right now. I'm having a really tough time with all of this because I put so much time and effort and planning into everything that I'm doing out here, to have something like this where I just feel like my body is just compromised and I'm injured. It's just got me in, you know, it's got me having to reevaluate what I'm going to do going forward. So game plan is to hike the 5 miles today to the next shelter, which will put me just a couple miles out of where the parking area is, where I'll prospectively be picked up tomorrow by a gentleman from the hotel that I'll be staying at. I got myself a hotel room with a hot tub in it so that I could, you know, soak myself and my feet in there as much as possible. But I'm gonna have to realistically look at my situation in the next couple of days and make a determination on whether or not going forward is the best thing for me, as much as it kills me to say, because I've had this goal out in front of me for the better part of a year now, and I've wanted to do something like this for, you know, my entire life. But if I can't physically put myself in a position where you know, I can do this at least a near 100%, then I shouldn't be out here, you know. And if the last thing I want to do is do any sort of permanent damage to my feet so that I can potentially never be out here again. So I got a lot to think about. I got a lot of steps between here and Manchester Center that I have to do on some pretty swollen and painful feet. So I'll probably head down to the pond in a little bit and soak my feet in there for a little, get the swelling down, get some Tylenol in me, and then just take it absolutely as slow as possible. I don't even care if I'm going a half a mile an hour on the way to this shelter, as long as I'm doing it without rolling my feet and ankles to the outside again. I'm just like, I'm really not looking forward to this today. I'm really not. And I don't know. I'm going to keep my options open, but unless something miraculous happens between here and Manchester Center, I might have to throw the towel in, as much as it pains me to say that. Unfortunately, the tank can't roll if it doesn't have tracks, you know. So I'll catch you guys soon. Oh man, this has been absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. I've done 1.7 miles so far of my 4.9 I need to do today, and I'm just in so much pain. So much pain. I just take my shoes off and just try to let my feet, oh, they're definitely swelling. It's brutal out here. This sucks. I'm at I think what they call the Winhall River. You can see down there. I think I'm gonna try to carefully, once I get some feeling back in my feet, I'm gonna try to carefully climb down there and put my feet in the water for a little bit. I don't know what else to do. I got a long way to go, but I can always try to find a south spot between here and where I was planning on camping. I was reading about a few of them on the Far app. In fact, there's one here, and as much as I want to just stop and put my tent up and lay down right now and put my feet up, I just know it's going to mean a longer hike for me tomorrow, and I don't want to kick the can down the road right now. I don't know if that's any smarter than going on, but it's been brutal. I only rolled my ankles over like once each that entire mile and a half, or mile 0.7, but both times I had to sit down because I was just in excruciating pain. Damn, I wouldn't wish this on anyone right now. Catch you guys soon. Well, I'm back on the trail. This is the next day, so I suppose good morning, because it's like, despite daylight savings time, it's 8 a.m., so it really feels like 9 a.m. to me. But I have about 3 miles to do to get to where I'm getting picked up today for the hotel, and both of my ankles slash outsides of my feet are absolutely killing me. It's worse than yesterday. My right foot in particular is just in so much pain. I'm like barely able to put any pressure on it whatsoever when I step. It's almost like I'm walking on one foot right now, and my trekking poles. Oh man, this is brutal. But I'm just gonna push to the parking lot and get picked up, and yeah, just go from there. But I wanted to check in with you guys because it looks like this is going to be the last stretch of trail that I'm on for at least a few weeks while I heal up. And it's got me a little sad today, but I'm trying my best to keep positive and just keep tanking on. Catch you guys soon. Well, they say it's about the little things in life, and I completely agree at this moment, because seeing what's in front of me right now is just got so much, it's going to provide me with so much relief. I'm on an actual road, and I can actually see where I'm going, and it's going to be mostly flat. So I am so thankful right now, because my right foot is absolutely killing me. Absolutely killing me. Oh man, I'm not sure I could do even one more day like this. It's like borderline making me nauseous how much pain I'm in when I try to step on it. And it's like, I'm not even rolling it over now. It's like if I step on anything that's not flat, it's just terrible, excruciating pain. I definitely did some major damage to at least my right foot, and my left foot is just compensating for everything right now, so it's not doing too well either. But again, I'm very, very thankful that I'm on this road, making my way to I think I'm gonna see what's called Prospect Rock in about 3/4 of a mile before I start descending down Rootfield Road to the parking area where I'm getting picked up. So I don't know what kind of visibility I'll have there, but that'll be my last view on this section. So I'll catch you guys there. Well, I made it up here on Prospect Rock, my last viewpoint before I descend down into Manchester Center. And once again, Mother Nature was kind to me and gave me a really nice view. And I've just been sitting here at the good advice from my wife, just reflecting on my journey so far. And I should be happy and proud that I made it these 140 miles all the way up into Manchester, especially with that tank of a pack on my back. And I've come to terms with the fact that my feet and ankles just, you know, aren't with it right now, and that I'll be heading home tomorrow on a bus from Manchester to the Cape to do what I can to rehab my feet and ankles, and so that I can get back out here on the trail as soon as possible. It's the smart thing to do, and with the amount of pain that I've been in these last 11 miles, it's just not realistic for me to think that after a day in town that I'm gonna be able to hike the type of hike that I want to. And just know that I'm thankful to all of you guys for being here with me, and certainly thankful for everybody that's helped me along my hike. Everybody in all those towns, from Joe the shuttle driver way back in Great Barrington, to Heidi and Lee, to the great people at the Catamount Motel, to all the great places I stopped for hot meals along the way, and the awesome people at the hotel in Pittsfield, you know, not to mention all the amazing people that I've met along the trail. You know, it's not the end for me, that's for sure, but for now, take a look at this with me. This will be my last view for a little while. This is Prospect Rock, Back there is Mount Equinox, and down there in the valley is Manchester Center. So I'm very thankful to be up here right now with this view, to be able to rest my ankles and feet for a little bit before I descend the last 1.5 miles to the parking lot where I'm getting picked up. So thank you guys for taking the time to listen to me, and I hope you enjoyed everything that I provided for you guys as much as I enjoyed being out here these last 21 days. And I'll talk to you guys soon.